This girl was absolutely crazy, actually bringing a lion to the supermarket. A guy nearby got so scared he dropped his box and ran for his life, except for a drunk old man. Everyone else was plastered against the walls, trying to stay as far from the lion as possible. The security guard saw the scene, thought he was dreaming. He quickly sounded the alarm. The mall instantly turned into total chaos. In just 5 seconds, the mall was completely empty. Seeing how popular the lion was, the girl could only lead it to the back door, leaving the supermarket, running into the grassland on the other side. Arriving on the grassland, the girl spun around happily, but her joy didn't last long. The vast African plains were full of danger. The nearest wildlife reserve was dozens of kilometers away. With no vehicle, they could only proceed on foot, but Charlie didn't overthink it. He lowered his head and sniffed, fully experiencing the free breath of nature. This was his first time in the wild. Everything looked fresh to him. Suddenly a group of ostriches caught Charlie's attention. He was already starving. Without hesitation, he rushed forward at full speed. The girl was both shocked and excited. Charlie, raised on a farm, his hunting instinct hadn't weakened at all. Soon he caught an unfortunate ostrich. Charlie filled his stomach. Time always passes quickly. The sun was about to set. The grassland was pitch black. Terrifying sounds coming from all directions. The girl hid in a tree, calling Charlie's name loudly. But apart from elephants, no other animals could be seen. Charlie was nowhere to be found. The girl was anxious, only falling into a deep sleep late at night. Charlie appeared at dawn. He wandered to the tree and woke the girl. The girl was somewhat angry, questioning why Charlie ran away last night. But she didn't know. If Charlie hadn't patrolled all night, driving away nearby hunting dogs and leopards, she wouldn't have slept safely until now. Though Charlie hadn't slept a wink, his steps were still steady. But the girl couldn't hold on. Hunger and lack of sleep made her see stars. Her legs were trembling. She could only grab Charlie's tail, walking aimlessly forward, finally finding a water pond. She hurriedly took out a bottle to fill with water. But Charlie seemed to have discovered something, eager to continue moving. The girl had to quickly follow. By afternoon, the girl finally couldn't hold on. She collapsed to the ground, drinking the last drop from her bottle. Charlie returned to her side, rubbing his head against her, encouraging her, telling her not to give up. The girl could only stand up and continue walking, but after just 2 steps, she stumbled, almost fainting. So she continued to grab Charlie's tail, staggering forward. Fortunately, persistence pays off. 3 hours later, they finally reached the reserve entrance. Seeing the sign, the girl excitedly knelt to the ground. Once Charlie goes inside, no one can harm him again. The reserve's locals also noticed Charlie. Local legend says white lions are messengers of the gods. The chief was extremely excited, waving to Charlie, urging him to return to nature's embrace. Charlie seemed reluctant, but an inexplicable calling prevented him from staying with the girl. Charlie buried his head in the girl's arms, acting like a spoiled child as he used to. The girl gently stroked every inch of his fur, suppressing her sorrow as she watched him leave. Charlie turned back, giving the girl a deep, meaningful look. He never belonged to any person or home. The vast African land was his true destination. So Charlie stepped forward. The girl also showed a relieved smile. But just then, several cars suddenly blocked the reserve entrance. Snipers on the helicopter stood ready. Charlie's majestic body looked fragile in the cold crosshairs. Though the girl wanted to stop them, she was too weak, about to collapse at any moment. Her father arrived. She kept begging him, pleading to save Charlie. Seeing his daughter cry her heart out, her father gritted his teeth. Everyone was stunned, but he resolutely stood in front of Charlie, facing down a dozen guns, escorting Charlie into the reserve. The snipers were helpless, because no one could shoot an animal in the reserve. Under the chief's guidance, Charlie walked forward confidently, calmly returning to his true home.